In a serene pond in ancient India, nestled among lush greenery and blooming lilies, lived three fish friends. They spent their days weaving through the clear water, their scales shimmering in the sunlight, enjoying a life of perfect peace and tranquility. They were inseparable, sharing every secret the pond held and every ray of sun that pierced its surface. One sunny afternoon, their peaceful world was suddenly disturbed. The ripples on the water's surface felt different, and strange sounds echoed from the bank. Peeking through the reeds, they saw two fishermen. The fish listened with bated breath as the men discussed their plans. "This pond is full of fish," one said. "Tomorrow, we'll bring our big net and catch them all." The words sent a shiver of fear through the water. The threat was real, and their idyllic home was about to become a trap. The three friends looked at each other, their playful days now overshadowed by a looming danger. What were they to do? Panic seized the first fish. His fins trembled as he darted back and forth. "Did you hear that? They're coming back tomorrow. This pond is no longer safe," he cried out to his friends. "We can't just wait here to be caught. There's a canal that connects this pond to the river. It's a long swim, but it's our only chance. We must leave right now, before it's too late. Why risk our lives staying here? We have to find a new, safer home immediately." He was convinced that instant flight was the only logical response to such a clear and present danger. His urgency was palpable, but his friends weren't so sure. The second fish, a bit more of a fatalist, shook his head slowly. "Leave our home? This pond has given us everything. Where would we even go? The river is vast and dangerous, full of predators we've never faced. Besides," he argued, "maybe the fishermen won't come back. People say things they don't mean all the time. And even if they do, this pond is our home. We know every nook and cranny. I think the best plan is to find a good hiding spot. We can tuck ourselves deep within the thickest weeds at the bottom. They'll cast their net, find nothing, and leave. Why abandon our home based on a maybe? I'll take my chances right here." He felt that relying on fate and familiar surroundings was wiser than venturing into the unknown. Then, the third fish, who had been listening calmly, spoke. His voice was steady, a stark contrast to the panic of the first and the fatalism of the second. "My friends," he began, "I understand both your points. Rushing away in fear might lead us into a new, unknown danger. But staying and doing nothing but hoping for the best is also a great risk. Fate helps those who help themselves." He paused, looking at each of them. "I believe the wisest course of action is to stay calm and be prepared. We shouldn't leave our home needlessly, but we also shouldn't be careless. Let's stay alert. If and when the fishermen cast their net, that is the moment for action. We must use our wits and agility to escape. I have a plan. If I get caught, I will pretend to be dead. They might throw me back. We need to be clever, not just afraid or complacent. Presence of mind is our greatest weapon." His words were a blend of caution and courage, a middle path between two extremes. As the sun rose the next morning, the fishermen returned, just as they had said. They waded into the water, their large, heavy net ready. The three friends watched from their different positions. The first fish, who had refused to leave without his friends, was now trapped. He panicked, swimming frantically back and forth, trying to find an escape, but only entangled himself further in the mesh. The second fish, who had hidden among the weeds, found his shelter was not deep enough. The dragging net snagged the weeds and pulled him out along with them. He flopped and struggled, but it was no use. Both were quickly tossed into the fisherman's basket. The third fish, however, remained calm as the net closed in. He didn't panic. Remembering his own advice, he let the net scoop him up. As the fishermen began sorting their catch on the bank, he lay perfectly still, gills barely moving, appearing lifeless. "Ugh, this one's already dead," one fisherman grumbled, and without a second thought, tossed him back into the water. With a powerful flick of his tail, the third fish darted away into the depths. A survivor. He had faced the danger head-on, not with brute force or blind hope, but with a sharp and present mind. The story of the three fishes teaches us a timeless lesson. In a crisis, it's not just about reacting, but about reacting wisely. The first fish was ruled by fear, the second by complacency, and both met a tragic end. The third fish, however, used his intelligence and kept a cool head. He showed us that presence of mind, quick thinking, and calm, calculated actions are what truly lead to survival. When faced with challenges, don't let panic or inaction decide your fate. Stay calm, think clearly, and act smartly. That is the key to overcoming any obstacle life throws your way.